On today's episode of the Views from Section 400 podcast, college basketball is back, and so is our transfer portal game. I asked the guys 10 questions, 10 players, see if they know where they went to school after their last school. It's always a fun game, and we incorporated some yes or no buzzers this year. So stick around for that. Also have our NFL confidence picks, a reaction to the NFL trade deadline, if Jack's like the Jacoby Myers move or not. I am mad about the Giants. And of course, we finish with the Michael of the week. It's all coming up next. Stay tuned.
And just like that, we're back.
A16, turn me up.
Welcome into episode 219 of the Views from Section 400 podcast. Today is November 6th, 2025. And Jack, your Christmas gifts came a bit early. You got a wide receiver.
Yeah, we made some moves at the line, or a move at the deadline. It's good. Jacoby Myers in town in Jacksonville, gave up a sixth and a fourth round pick for him. You know, we'll see if we end up re-signing him after this year. He will be a free agent. You know, I'm not really concerned with that kind of capital. We have plenty of fourth and sixth round picks. Even though we gave up those two, we still have 11 draft picks this next year. So plenty of guys that are be coming in anyway. I'm happy we got Jacoby Myers. Definitely wasn't a guy that I was looking at and targeting, but it makes complete sense. We need a receiver who has the hands. Is it Trevor Lawrence's fault for throwing bad balls? Is it the receiver's fault for not being able to catch them? Jacoby Myers is going to be our telltale sign. The guy who hasn't dropped more than a pass or two over the past two seasons. I mean, I'm all about it. So I think he'll be a great addition. Travis Hunter on IR. Brian Thomas has been banged up all year, just trying to play through injuries. Diami Brown's been hurt since we signed him. Seems like I think he's played like maybe 30 snaps. Brenton Strange hit the IR not too long ago. Hopefully we get him back soon. But yeah, a lot of injuries and needed some help for Trevor.
Yeah, and you know Jacoby Myers is the happiest person on earth right now. He's wanted out of Vegas since week one, and now he's going to a place where the whole, like you just said, the whole wide receiver room is injured. He's the only guy there. He's going to get peppered with targets, and he's a good player. He has 800 yards at least in the last 4 years. So, I don't know. I'm happy for you. You got a guy. I didn't get Shaheed, but you got a guy.
Yeah, I mean, look, Jacoby Myers is by no means a blockbuster wide receiver, but to your point, 800 yards each of the past 4 seasons. He hit 1,000 yards with Aiden O'Connell throwing to him. You know, that was his primary guy, sprinkling a little Gardner Minshew there. Shout out Minshew. But, yeah, I mean, Aiden O'Connell, Gardner Minshew, you're able to get 1,000 yards. We'll take it. Like, you know, Trevor Lawrence, Liam Cohen, this is going to be a much better ecosystem. And, yeah, he's definitely happy that he's out of Vegas now. He's been wanting to pull a Devontae since the season started.
He's probably the best quarterback he's ever played with. He might just be the Darius Slayton of possession receivers. Both very average, consistent, but Slayton goes deep and Myers just catches 8 balls for 60 yards.
Yeah, I mean,
both been dealing with terrible quarterbacks.
Yeah, they're different kind of players, but I see what you're trying to say, and I'll let you have it.
All right, I'll take it. Thank you.
I got nothing on Jacoby Myers, man. Don't watch a lot of AFC, so didn't watch. I mean, I think the Aiden O'Connell point is nice. I mean, if you get over 1,000 yards with Aiden O'Connell, that says something about your athletic ability and just ability in general to play wide receiver in the NFL. So Jags got a guy. I think what they need to do is get Brian Thomas Jr. back on track, and maybe Jacoby Myers helps elevate him in some capacity.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been a fan of Myers and his work. I know he's a former quarterback turned receiver. We see that happen sometimes, and Kelsey being a good example as well. Travis Kelsey, and they just know where to find spots in the zone, where quarterbacks are going to want you to be, and that's what he's made a career out of. In Vegas and then the Patriots before that. So I'm excited for Myers. Matt, we do need to get Brian Thomas Jr. going again. You know, the injuries suck, but we're going to have to use him very limitedly. Just get him on the field a little bit to distract the defense, but he's banged up right now.
Is that what I mean, how much of that is I don't know. So I know you always think I'm trying to find the angle to piss you off, but is that do you believe he's actually injured, or is there maybe like, hey, like the Phillies did with Aaron Nola this year? I mean, that guy wasn't injured for 6 months.
No, I'm not.
They use the IL. They use the IL to kind of hide a little bit. You see teams do it. It's a very normal thing.
The Cardinals just did it with Kyler.
Cardinals just did it with Kyler. I'm pretty sure what's going on in Tennessee. Calvin Ridley's not actually hurt with that hammy. I'm pretty sure
another great example.
It's a gambling scandal or something that he's getting investigated right now. But no, I mean, you're right. That does happen all the time, but not with Brian Thomas. He is legitimately, after every single catch, he's coming up, holding his shoulder, holding his wrist. I mean, it's one thing after the next. I don't want to call him soft. That's my guy, but it does seem like he's just broken right now.
Yeah, that sucks.
It's almost like, and I know drops are a problem, so it's almost like he tries to catch the ball with such like vigorous effort that he uses too much of his body, and he ends up landing on something weird or twisting something weird. I don't know if that's accurate at all, but it seems like he's so focused on trying to catch the ball, and maybe his hands just aren't that good. So he just overthinks everything, and his body.
It's kind of the opposite. It's like he's good at catching the football. He is. He's so worried about everything else going on. The DBs. Is he going to get hit? I mean, is he going to get like his shoulder or his wrist re-injured? He's focusing too much on what's going on around him that he's not focusing on making the catch and then trying to figure out how not to get hit. He's just, distracted. So and I think that's what happens when you do play hurt and you do think about those things like, oh, if I catch this ball over the seam right now, I'm going to get clocked. I can't get clocked and miss the next 4 games. And I think he drops it. I think that's what we've been seeing since, honestly, like week 2.
Maybe Jacoby Myers helps with that.
Yeah,
I hope so.
Maybe you can elevate him a little bit. I was just going to say, what was he doing last year that to you as a fan watching every snap, is he not? Obviously it's going to be like, well, he's been injured all year and he wasn't injured last year. Mm-hmm. But what did he what allowed him to be borderline all pro? Maybe he wasn't all pro. I don't know what he finished as, to like non-existent. And I know the injuries, but
no, definitely the injuries as far as the quality of play, but as far as the production goes, there was no way he was going to repeat what he did last year this year. Last year, it was Mac Jones throwing him the football damn near 15 times a game down the stretch. That's what our team was. Our team was out of it. We ended up picking 2nd overall, having the 5th overall draft pick. So we were not a good team. We threw the ball to our rookie wide receiver 10 times a game for 100 yards and a touchdown, and got him, 1,000 yards as a rookie. I don't know if he set any records or anything like that, but, had a great season, 10 touchdowns. And it was because we just peppered the ball to him. Like that was it. Everyone's wondering, where was Travis Etienne last year? What happened to the run game? Same thing. Just we kept on throwing, almost like the Eagles, just trying to get Saquon the rushing record last year. And then you look at it this year. We're not going to have the same sort of play given what already happened last year.
No, you answered it well off the bat. You had somebody else throwing him the football.
Better quarterback.
I didn't say that. Brian said that. I just said somebody else throwing him the football. I did not say better quarterback. All as I said was somebody else throwing him the football. All
but
pro.
The buck does not stop there. It doesn't. It's not just because it was somebody else throwing him the football. It's because that other person was peppering him with targets to try and get him production. He was the one bright spot in an otherwise really terrible season for the Jags last year, having to fire Doug Peterson and everything else that went along with it. Brian Thomas Jr. hitting 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns as a rookie was definitely the highlight of our season. So shout out Mac Jones for getting that done. But that's what we were playing for last year. That's why he had those numbers, that sort of production. He's still a great receiver, don't need him to do that sort of thing this year. We need to run a competent offense. I mean, we were doing that down 20 points every game last year. So it's a way different team, way different scenario, use case, all that kind of stuff.
Fine.
I got you. Yeah, that's fair. Definitely fair.
I'll accept that answer.
Thank you.
Yeah, Matt, our teams didn't do much on deadline day, at least. I know Howie made the moves before that we talked about on the last show, but were you kind of surprised you didn't see anything on the actual deadline day?
I wasn't, because he filled the holes that needed to be filled. But he got everything done that he needed to get done. Fill the quarterback need, fill the edge rush need, Jalen Phillips. Low risk in terms of like you didn't give up much. There's risk with the injury factor. With anybody, there's always risk. So if there's a history, it makes it a little bit more, will be on your radar, so to say. But I mean, like their edge rush room was pretty depleted. I mean, they're calling on Brandon Graham, who's doing like celebrity appearances, who's 36 and retired, to come back and be a rotational guy. So that was a massive need to fill. They did get Jalen Phillips. I know he's a great player. I don't know what his accolades are in terms of like All Pro, Pro Bowl. I know he's up there, but exciting to have him. And then, it's not a free agent signing, but it maybe can feel like one, because you have Nolan Smith, pending return. I think he went out week 2, if I remember correctly. I forget when he got hurt, but we haven't had him pretty much for all year. So, and I know he's pending return, who's really been blossoming, in his role. So for him to learn from a guy like Jalen Phillips and him looking promising, I like, the aspect of him coming back. So with Jalen Phillips, Nolan, Brandon Graham there to be a veteran, maybe play 8 snaps a game, and also use his wisdom and knowledge to kind of teach these guys a thing or two. I'm pleased with the moves he made. And then I don't know if you want to call it throwing darts at a dartboard, but he went out and got Michael Carter II from the Jets, and he got Jair Alexander, who have had prolific NFL careers, at least seasons, if you don't want to say full careers, but there's something there. And Vic Fangio is a guy who can get the best out of players. We've seen it. And I think I threw on Twitter, I gave the grade B+, just because there is a little bit of a risk factor. Phillips or Alexander go down in a big way and miss the rest of the year. I mean, that move immediately blows up. But the one thing I do appreciate is you understanding the talent you have on the roster. You understand you do have a good chance at repeating. So recognize the holes, understand what you need to do, and then go out there and try and fill them. And at least he tried to do it. And as a fan, I can appreciate that. Whether the moves work or not, that's a different thing. I don't think any GM can go there and find the right moves without giving up first-round picks left, 3 first-round picks for Myles Garrett. Okay, great. That move's probably going to work out if you make that trade. But, with what you had to work with, you didn't give up the farm by any stretch. You still have, draft capital in the beginning of drafts going forward, and you filled holes with players who have been very good in the NFL, and Jalen Phillips and Jair Alexander, and Michael Carter II under Robert Saleh was a very nice player as well. So I think there's a lot can go well and a lot can go wrong. But as a fan, I appreciate being proactive at the deadline, understanding you have another chance to go for it all and not just being complacent. We're 6-2. Maybe we'll throw a 6th or 7th round at a couple players and Phillip Boyd. He went in and tried to fill. So without rambling on too much, I'll give it a B+, maybe even an A-, just because I like how aggressive he was in filling what needed to be filled.
Yeah, they did things. And you look at the Patriots at 7-2 and they didn't do anything.
So they, Eagles are in a little bit of a different spot. Patriots, I think their year is already successful. Eagles, go and lose first round. That's not a successful year. Patriots, win 12, 13 games and lose in the first round. I think people are still, optimistic going forward. Eagles, they're ready to burn down the city.
No doubt. And Brian, what you asked originally about, are you surprised that they didn't make any deals on deadline day? I'm going to agree with Matt. No, like how we got it done beforehand, as the good organizations do, as the Rams and McVay did with Roger McCreary, early on in this trade deadline window. The best teams get it done early. When you have to do it towards the end, when you try to buy towards the end, the price just always gets a little too high. So Shout out Howie for once again being him.
And to be fair, one more thing on the Myles Garrett. Apparently he did offer 3 first-round picks to the Cleveland Browns. There was some rumors, again, I don't know true or not, but there was a lot of rumblings. That there was something in the water there. So that's maybe why they did settle on Jalen Phillips. I don't know. They needed to throw 3 first-round picks, and Howie's the cap wizard, so he would have been able to finagle it. And I don't know. It would have been scary if Myles Garrett was on the Eagles, but obviously it didn't happen, and I think the Eagles will be fine.
Yeah, after I saw that report, I was like, I wonder how in they were on Sauce Gardner, seeing him go for 2.
Right.
And it's like, well, that would have not been fun seeing Sauce Gardner go there. There were a lot of weird trades, and I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm surprised how he didn't pull the trigger on like a Quentin Williams or a Sauce Gardner, but it shows how good he is, because that deal that Jerry made for Quentin Williams, like,
it makes no sense.
So
like, you're
bad.
3-5-1, you're maybe gonna win 8 games if you're lucky. Like, I don't know what you're trying to do, especially not paying Micah Parsons. But then you go and do that for Quentin Williams, who Parsons is at a more premier position. That I know interior line's important, but I would take the edge over the D tackle. But Jerry doesn't think that way, and he needed to make a splash to keep everybody involved. But one more thing on the Eagles of the city of Philadelphia. I promise I'll shut up and not go on any more rants. It's a message to Dave Dombrowski. Look at how Howie Roseman answered the question when talking about A.J. Brown. He said, when you have a great team and you have great players, you don't just trade great players away. You keep those guys. He's important. He wears the C, and he's excited for the second half of the year. When you're asked about Bryce Harper, you don't question his loyalty to the team. You don't question his ability to be a great player, and you don't leave the narrative open to, is Bryce coming back? Is he on the trade or trade block? You shore up and you convincingly close the door on any kind of doubt for the players, future with the team, the franchise, the city. And I think Howie did a really good job of shutting up the local media and national media with all this. A.J. Brown is being traded. He's unhappy and this and that. And I understand he gets loud and is on social media, but I think it's an important note that Howie Roseman came out and said, no, he's a captain on this football team. He's very important. He wants to win, and we have a chance to win. So no, we're not going to trade a great player away just because somebody's unhappy. We're excited that he's here the rest of the year. So just a quick note that Dave Dombrowski can take some notes, and also, another pat on the back for Howie if he needs it, for just doing the right things, which seems at all times. That's all I got there. I rest my case. No more rants from me, but that needed to be addressed.
Yeah, maybe Dave, you can go ahead and trade Harper to an AL team. I wouldn't be mad at you. I am kind of mad at the Giants for not doing what I wanted and getting a receiver, especially after Rashid Shaheed didn't really go for much.
There was no reason for them to make a move, but
they should have.
I'm not getting into this.
Or at least sell. They should have done something. You're at a point where you do something.
I gave you 10 minutes of my time yesterday talking about why this was a bad idea. I'm not going into it again.
Don't need to go into it. It's more just...
I mean, they could have sold. If you're not going to buy a receiver, go sell people.
Who would you want them to sell?
Get rid of Dexter Lawrence. Get rid of Thibodeau. Give me a vision, some kind of vision. It looked like they kind of had one, and they kind of just said, "Yeah, Malik Neighbors and Cam Scatto got hurt, so it's another year of doing nothing." And I thought this was a year where Joe Schmo and Brian Dable were fighting for their jobs. So
which it kind of feel, not to cut you off, but it kind of feels like Dable is, because the sideline crash outs are getting more aggressive week after week. Watch him this week. I guarantee you it'll be even more on display in terms of crashing out. It seems like he can feel what's coming. And I don't know. The crash outs seem to be getting. It's not like he's just, everybody got hurt, so we're just kind of packing it in. I mean, this guy the crash outs on the sideline for a 2-7 team are pretty aggressive.
Yeah, because he knows he's fighting for his job, so go do something. I mean, we've already seen Joe Schmo take.
He doesn't make that call. Schmo might be able to use the team I put on the field got injured, so like Dable still has can be creative and use what he's got to. I mean, Moneyball, the Athletics had the lowest payroll and won 100 games.
It wasn't the lowest.
Damn close, Brian.
That movie is. I mean, they don't talk about the pitching rotation they had. That's one of the best pitching rotations of that. Definitely that year.
Still put it together.
They did.
Understand that running Scatterbo and Dart into the ground. I mean, everybody's like, dude, these guys are eventually going to get hurt, and they're just continuing to run. I understand it's a freak accident, but
Dart has not run as much. He's averaging like 5 carries.
Yeah, now.
Yeah, I mean, he's learning.
They saw Scatterbo lose.
Well, even before Scatterbo got hurt, and that's just how Scatterbo's going to play. But like, it doesn't make any sense to me to go into this and say this is a make or break year, and then not do anything. And we've seen Dable be like, "Hey, Joe, I want Jackson Dart. Please trade up for Jackson Dart." And Joe Schmo did it because he clearly cares about his opinion. So why now, when you're having an aneurysm after every 4th down stop, are you not going out and doing something? And if that's selling, at least that's a vision.
Do we not think that his job is already safe?
Dable?
Yeah.
I don't think either of their jobs are safe.
I think Schmo's is more safe than Dable's is. I wouldn't be surprised if they fire Dable and keep Schmo.
They're very close to cutting their first-round cornerback from 2 years ago. That should be Joe Schmo. It's just you're out. In 2 years, you can't cut him.
And Thibodeau isn't necessarily working out, is he?
He's been fine. He's a good player. I mean,
sounds like you want him gone every time we talk about the Giants' defense.
I wouldn't mind if he's gone because they have a surplus of resources. It's a team with no resources anywhere, and they have a surplus at one position, and that's edge rusher. So if you're going to do something, it's probably trading.
What do they have? Carter, Thibodeau, and who else?
Brian Burns leads the league in sacks.
Is he an edge rusher or a linebacker?
It's an edge rusher.
He's been playing on the edge.
Yeah. I mean, look, Brian, I'm not surprised that they didn't make any moves here. I don't think that they should have bought anyone. If they could have sold someone for the right price, that's always the right move. But I think Dable is here to stay. I think that we've seen enough of a connection. I think we've seen enough. Honestly, you want to know what it is? John Maris just asked Jackson Dart, "Hey, you want Dable or not?" Straight up, because Jackson Dart is your future. Brian Dable, maybe, maybe not. Joe Schmo, maybe, maybe not. But Jackson Dart is your future. Same with Malik Neighbors and Scatterbo and Carter, everyone that we're talking about right now. They're the players of the future. The coach and the GM are interchangeable. It's kind of on Dart whether or not we keep Dable around. If he thinks that Dable can lead him and their team to the playoffs, to a Super Bowl, then keep him around. And I feel like we've seen that connection between Dart and Dable to this point.
See, I'm not going to pretend to know what's going on in Jackson Dart's head, but I think he likes Dable as like a leader of men as a head coach. But all of the good plays Jackson Dart makes are when he's scrambling and like how you would in Madden, a receiver playmakers and runs down the field and runs around they're not supposed to. It's all broken plays that Dart's making himself. Nothing Dable has put into this scheme has been good. It's all Jackson Dart right now, which is why I'm so high on him.
He's also only 22 years old. But I think if you want to take the future guys, it doesn't have. I don't think it's a horrible idea, Jack. It doesn't even have to be a public meeting. I know these things do leak out of locker rooms very easily, but you take Neighbors, Dart, and whatever other young guys that you deem as the future, Abdul Carter, and it's like, hey, like you guys are the ones playing. Like I'm the owner. Maybe even pull the I'm desperate here, man. I need this franchise back to the glory they've been at before. Every coach I've hired for the last 10 years has been a disaster, dumpster fire. Do we roll forward, or do you think I should make a change? I'm freaking desperate. And maybe the players rally behind that. Or maybe they say, no, it's on us. Dable's doing everything he can, and maybe that lights a fire somehow. But who knows? I know the owner's involved, but to what extent?
He's also dealing with health problems, so I think he took a step back. But
yeah, it doesn't help.
They need to do something. Show me a vision. I can't. I have fun watching Jackson Dart on Sundays, but there's nothing from the front office.
But a week ago, you were all good with them scoring 30 points, but still lose. And
yes, but I'd like to see a vision. I'd like to see that.
Is that not a vision?
Well, that's what the players are doing. I like to see Jackson Dart ball out and they're losing, but at least show me something behind the scenes, something.
Recoup some assets at the deadline, so maybe you pick up another young guy next year.
Yeah. You need players. You need bodies. Do
all
something.
Right. That's enough on the Giants.
For sure.
Yeah.
The hapless Giants.
At least they finally have a quarterback. I don't have to continue trying to sell myself on Daniel Jones.
Agreed. No. Yep, you got yourself one. And dare I say, he looks pretty damn good. So,
at least in terms of fantasy football, he's the third best quarterback since he started.
That's something to hang your hat on. Is there anything, any other big notable trades we want to touch on? Quinnen Williams, Sauce Gardner.
I think Sauce is great for the Colts, but we kind of talked about that already. But I mean, their offense has been great. It's really just going to matter if Daniel Jones can be a serviceable quarterback,
which he's been all year, and like, not that he played fine Sunday because he did have the turnovers, but the yardage was still there. They didn't punch the ball into I don't know how many TDs he threw, but
I think he had 2.
He still threw a couple of TDs and had the yardage. You're right. I mean, it's always the play of the quarterback. But
the same story with him his whole career. He looks good, and then he has a terrible turnover. And sometimes he has 3 or 4, or in Sunday's case, 5 turnovers.
Their schedule gets tougher the rest of the year. I've already touched on this on the show. I've touched on it with you specifically, Brian, who was all in on the Colts. Now he's like, here's Daniel Jones of old. But we'll wait and see.
Yeah, nothing's making me happier than seeing Daniel Jones struggle. I'll be honest.
Especially now because he's in.
I like what the Colts are doing.
Exactly.
I like what everybody counted him out this year, and for the start they've had, it's a fun underdog story.
It is. I mean, I'll be honest. When you got a team that's trying to figure out who's going to be their starting quarterback going into the season, you never see them at the top of the league. So this is definitely a unique case for the Colts. And, I obviously wish they went with Anthony Richardson, but
I wonder what he's up to. I haven't heard anything about him. And I mean, I guess because they've been good, but
it'd have been cool if he got dealt at the trade deadline.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean,
if they went after him.
If they were like 2-7, I think you'd be seeing a lot. There'd be a lot more like QB controversy. Colts have nobody. The Colts just don't get the attention anyway, though.
Yeah,
maybe now a little bit more because they're 7-2, and they just got Sauce Gardner, who is a loud player, to say the least. Flashy, loud player, always in the media. People like him. Has a fan base across the league, regardless of being on the. I mean, he's Otani figure is a bad way to put it, but he's a guy like you see that player, you're like, oh, I like that player. Like, he's one of those guys across the NFL where you can like handpick and you're like, what? I like him.
The Jets should have just asked for Anthony Richardson along with the picks in that Sauce Gardner deal.
They might have gotten it done.
Maybe they did.
Maybe they did.
And the Colts said no.
Yeah, just to swap with Richardson and Fields, give you a backup quarterback. We'll take a chance on Richardson. Damn. Some alternate timeline. Anthony Richardson's balling out for the Jets for the rest of the season.
Probably not, but
all right, let's do some confidence picks.
that works for me. What you got the big board here, Brian? Where do we stand?
Yeah, I'm pulling it up here. And Jack, you will be happy to know that we now have percentages for our picks as well as a record.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. This is what I've been waiting for.
Been waiting for that.
And you're going to be very happy once you see those percentages.
I expect it to be.
So for those of you on the YouTube, Matt has extended his lead in total points. He's at 773. I'm behind at 736. Jack creeping up 658. But if you look at the percentages in the record, Jack is leading at 85 and 34, a 71% hit rate.
Yeah, I mean, I know he's right there with 85, but Brian, embarrassing. Jack has 85 and you have 84.
Yeah, not great.
I mean, Brian, come on, man.
That's not a good luck, dude.
It's not. I love the underdogs.
I mean, this
year.
This is why I asked for the percentages, and I guess I'll have to, give Will buy Will some lunch or something like that. But yeah, this is what I've been waiting for. I'm feeling a little happy right now.
Something to get you back on your feet.
Yeah. This lifted me back up. This makes me think that there's still a shot over the next, 7 weeks, 8 weeks, we can make up that ground.
What was the total points again, Brian? I know you pulled it down.
You're at 773. I'm at 736. Jack is at 658.
Oh, crap. Right. It's a lot to make up.
You got time. But might as well start with you again, Matt. Still in first place. It's not looking good for me to overtake that anytime soon.
Yeah, it's been a steady lead. You got close. What was it, 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago, we were neck and neck. But
it's been spiraling since.
Been a bad couple of weeks for me.
Looking to keep it rolling. Am I just ripping these off, or are you playing music?
We got to get the music.
Double digits. We start off here with the most confident. Broncos over the Raiders. The Raiders are dead. Lions over the Commanders. I think Jaden Daniels out for at least this game, most likely the year.
Probably the year.
Bills over the Dolphins. They're also dead, the Dolphins. I got Seahawks over the Cardinals. No way they follow up a big win against Dallas with a win. Colts over the Falcons. Rams over the Niners. I know it's tough to beat the same team twice in your own division. Think the Rams are just an outright better team. Chargers over the Steelers. Panthers over the Saints to get to 6-4. Bears over the Giants. Could be a tricky one. Eagles beat the Packers in Lambeau. Best team in the NFC. Might even be in the league coming off the bye. Ravens over the Vikings. Texans to beat the Jags. I know Jack loves that one. Bucks over the Patriots. Browns to beat the Jets in a game that should be on YouTube TV on ESPN this weekend.
That should be flexed to 2:30 in the morning on ESPN, only for YouTube TV customers.
Yeah, I mean, I'm expecting that to be one of the quickest games of the season. Just hopefully just running. We really don't need to watch Justin Fields or Dylan Gabriel try to throw the football.
No, that's a really
it'll be ugly
game. That's a really ugly game.
Do the Jets even show up? Do they just oversleep and just not show up on the field? I mean, Breece Hall definitely doesn't want to be there.
Could you imagine?
There's no way there's a fan there.
Has there ever been a forfeit in NFL history?
How back do you want to go? I could definitely find you one. But
you probably got to go way back for that.
The days of the Frankfurt fritters, as Jack would call them.
I'm sure there probably is a forfeit out there.
All right.
But, I mean, modern NFL, I don't know you'll ever get that.
I don't think so. If there's a week, it'll be this week. I'll go through mine real quick here. Also have Broncos over Raiders on Thursday Night Football. That scares me a little bit, but the Raiders are dead. Bills over the Dolphins. Seahawks over the Cardinals. Jacoby Brissett cannot win 2 in a row. Lions over Marcus Mariota-led Commanders. Colts over the Falcons in a get-right spot. I have the 49ers beating the Rams. Always weird when these two teams get together, and I want to make up some points there. Panthers over the Saints. Going to prove they're a good team. Bucks over the Patriots. Texans over the Jaguars. Sorry, Jack. I have the Vikings over the Ravens. That defense just is not very good, and there's a guy that can really just kill it. It's Kevin O'Connell. Giants over the Bears. Come on, Dart. Browns over the Jets. Packers over the Eagles. And I guess I'm missing a game because I put 49ers over Rams twice.
Browns, Jets. Nope, you got that Bucks.
Chargers,
Pats.
Steelers. I'll take the Steelers over the Chargers on Sunday Night Football.
All right.
Yeah, I didn't realize I said the Rams won, but the Niners beat the Rams, right?
They
Earlier
did
in the
that
season,
overtime
yeah.
game.
On
Already
Thursday,
once. Yeah, I said
on
Rams to
Thursday
go for
Night
the
Football.
sweep. Yeah, so I actually love the Rams pick even more. There's no way they lose again. 0-2 to the Niners? No.
They are out there in Santa Clara.
Yeah, but Sean McVay is going to have this team fired up for this one. You can just feel it. It's Sean McVay, dude. You think he's not reminding them all week of that Thursday night game?
Yeah, that was also a brutal game to lose. I think it was a 4th and 1. They tried to run it up the middle, and Fred Warner got a stop.
McVay wore that entire loss on his chin with the decision making.
Even though Kyron Williams fumbled at the goal line,
he still wore it on the chin. He was very pissed. You could tell he was ready to blow a gasket. I feel comfortable putting everything I have on the Rams to win this game on the road. McVay's going to have the boys ready to go. I know it.
Yeah, I remember this one very well, that Thursday night game. The 49ers had nobody healthy. They had no business winning that football game, and they still came out and somehow did it. The Rams shot themselves in the foot 5 times. I'm with you, Matt. They won't do it again, and the Rams will get it done.
And put it at the top spot.
No. But to be fair, it's sitting right in the middle at 8 for me. And without further ado, I'm going to take the Broncos over the Raiders, the Lions over the Commanders, Bills over the Dolphins, Seahawks over the Cardinals, Panthers over the Saints, Colts over the Falcons, the Rams over the Niners, Bears beating your New York Football Giants. Sorry, Brian. The Jags are beating the Texans, sweeping the Texans this year. Browns over the Jets, Eagles over the Packers, Steelers over the Chargers, taking the Bucks over the Pats. Not feeling too confident about that one, but coming off the bye, I think the Bucks will get it done. And then last but not least, I'm taking Lamar and the Ravens over the Vikings. Everything tells me that the Vikings are going to win that football game, but Lamar Jackson and the Ravens need it so much more.
It's going to be a really fun game.
Yeah, and Brian, hashed on the Ravens defense not being that good. They're getting a lot healthier. They're gelling together. The team in general, offense, defense, special teams, plays a lot better when Lamar Jackson's on the field playing for whatever reason. So him back, his aura, if you want to call it, just being involved helps elevate that team. So I disagree. I think the Ravens defense is getting healthy and coming together and coming off a strong performance. I get it. It's Kevin O'Connell, but is that in Baltimore as well?
I think it's in Minnesota.
I think it's Minnesota.
Doesn't matter. Lamar Jackson elevates that team, and I think he will on Sunday in the Dome.
Yeah, I expect it to be a high-scoring game. Fun game, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I think it's on Fox, too. It's going to be a fun over game.
We'll see. I got their defense.
Does that mean we get pretty cameras?
Pretty cameras in the Dome.
Oh, yeah.
Probably Greg Olson on the call with
No.
Yeah. Because I think they got Brady and Burkhardt doing the Commanders' lines.
Yeah, well, Packers, Eagles is Monday night, so Texans, Jags, will that be Romo?
That seems like an Iron Eagle game.
Is that an Iron Eagle game? Well, what's the other CBS game? Or I guess they don't do CBS's AFC, NFC is Fox anymore. They kind of mix and match.
which is just terrible.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I thought Romo might get, Texans, Jags, definitely CBS. Not sure. No way dude, that's a divisional game for the. I guess they're not the top teams because of the Colts. Do they get Kevin Harlan?
Iron Eagle on Texans Jags. And let's see, the Ravens Vikings is Kevin Kugler and Daryl Johnson.
Yeah, I told you, dude. They're not giving the A team for that game.
Joe Davis and Gregor on Giants.
Rams Niners is gonna have the top for Fox.
Yeah, and then CBS is Lions Commanders with Kenny Albert.
Where's Jim Nance and Romo?
They have the Patriots Bucks.
Oh, okay. 1 o'clock. So that's a good one. And then Fox will get the Rams Niners. What'd you say? Jags is Iron Eagle?
Jags is
who has to do, look? The real question is who has to do the Browns and Jets game.
Yeah, that's got to be Chris Myers.
That would be Spiro Dedis and Adam Archuleta.
Oof. Which game does Chris Myers get this week?
Chris Myers.
Colts and Falcons.
Gets Saints Panthers.
That's about right. Oh, Tom McCarthy, last one.
It doesn't look like he's on this week.
He might get Colts and Falcons.
Yeah, he is not on this week.
At all?
Nope.
That's where I would see him getting the Browns-Jets game.
Once the bye week stops, he'll get the worst game of the week when they need the extra set of vocal cords.
What'd you say? Oh, Myers gets Panthers Saints. Yep, that's pretty on par.
Yeah, there's your NFL confidence picks and broadcasting schedule for week 10.
There you go. If you didn't know, now you do.
Let's talk some college basketball, shall we? Bring back everyone's favorite game.
I think we should. It's look, I'll say it now. For the value, plus 1,500 to win it all, I think Duke is a very attractive line right now. Just to come out and say it, the recruits, I forget, is it the Boozer twins they have? I just think that team is electric. Do they have both or just one?
I think it's just Cameron.
Okay.
But it might be
either
both.
way.
Or the other one's not very good.
That team's electric. Plus 1,500 is an attractive line. I think Purdue and Houston are hovering around the top right now, who we know in years past are fraudulent teams. Duke plus 1,500. Very attractive line. I'm not sure if it dropped a little bit because of the win over Texas just a couple nights ago. But, yeah, just getting out in front. Real early. Real early. Way too early. National champion. I like the Duke Blue Devils a lot this year.
I don't hate that. I will definitely have a pick in a couple weeks here. I still want to see something. I really like what I saw from Arizona on the first day.
Koa Pizza dog.
Didn't love what I saw from Auburn. Almost losing to Bethune-Cookman.
Yeah, I say we jump right into that. And as fun as it is to rag on Auburn for, just doing everything they could to escape out of that one, self-inflicted at the end with the 3-point play or whatever it was.
Oh my gosh. That foul we committed on the last second half court heave. We make that play in March. It's done. Look,
they got the new coach, Bruce Pearls, with Turner and TNT and outside looking in. I think he would have stayed too if DJ Dibansa, whatever his name is, went to Auburn. Did you hear that in the? I guess you guys weren't watching probably the Nova game that late, but in the pregame when they were talking,
I was covering his recruitment. I was very sad when he didn't choose Auburn.
Yeah, he was. Well, he asked him in the interview, and it sounds like Bidenza didn't even give Auburn a thought because he was like, "I asked you, man," and. Or was that Koa Pete he was talking? He was talking about both of them. He was on both of them, but none of them wanted to go to Auburn.
Yeah, he made it. It was Pete that Pearl asked about, but Auburn was in his top 8, and then he went on first take and said he was going to BYU.
Yeah, I mean, if he goes there, dude, he's an electric player. Last thing on Auburn, at least for me, I saw in a lot of comments, people were like, everyone's ripping on Auburn, but this Bethune-Cookman team is a dark horse. Obviously not to win it all, but maybe win their respective conference. What are they playing? The A-Sun? I don't even know where they're at. I know they're
No.
they're a North or South Carolina school.
I think they're North Carolina.
I want to say. Which
they might be in the SWAC.
Is that no? It would be like
they are in the SWAC. Don't say no to me.
Nice, Brian.
But yeah, they're a good team, and they hit a lot of threes. This is the thing.
Wait, is the SWAC the same conference as like Wofford and Fordham?
That's the Big South.
Okay, that's
Fordham wouldn't be in that.
You're thinking of Furman.
Furman, excuse me, the purple one.
Yeah, that's Furman.
Yeah.
But yeah, Auburn's going to give up a lot of points, especially early, but they can score, and that's what we saw here. And Bethune-Cookman, I like that call, Matt. I got to see what their odds are to win that conference, but they look good. They were hitting their threes.
Yeah, they got some hoopers on their team. There's no doubt about that.
And yeah, Elijah Freeman isn't going to make that mistake again. He's a D2 kid, still learning. But Sebastian Williams-Adams was what I really liked. And Bethune-Cookman's small, so you expect the big man to have a big game, but he looked really good in his first ever college game. Pettiford will shoot better. It was nice to see them not get upset. That's the big thing. Just get a win.
Yeah, that's for sure. Start the season off with a win. Doesn't matter how ugly it is. But, I mean, what I will say is that basketball that we played, full disclosure, did not catch the first half. But the second half and the OT, that basketball we played was disgusting. That was YMCA, solo, put your head down, get to the rim basketball. And I understand that when you're playing, not as good opponent, you can take them one-on-one and do that. But to just put your head down every single drive on offense, no swinging the ball around, no cuts to the basket, just head down, shot at the rim. We got fouled a ton. It worked. We had that, can't remember his name off the top of my head, but we had that one guy go to the line damn near 30 times in this game. So it worked.
Almost everybody. I think they shot like 40 free throws.
Yeah, I think it was number 7. He's
Deshaun Hall.
Yeah, exactly. Hall. Went to the line darn near 30 times in this game and just took the ball to the rim every time it got in his hands. Did not like the YMCA solo ball, but, game 1 will come together, hopefully develop some chemistry and look like a real basketball team.
Yeah, it's important to remember these guys haven't really played together. Like last year when they were blowing out everybody in the non-conference, it was the team that got upset by Yale in the first round, but also won the SEC the year prior. So they spent a whole year playing together. They had that taste for revenge in their mind. They were all old. And now this is a bunch of young kids, a bunch of transfers that really haven't played big-time basketball, and a kid from Serbia that hasn't played any type of basketball. And it's going to take a little to – I shouldn't say any kind of basketball, but it's going to take some time to gel.
It's going to take some time. Yeah, we only returned to Hod Pettiford, and if you're only going to return one person, I'm damn happy it's him. But we gotta come together, and sooner rather than later would be appreciated.
Yeah, the Auburn window was last year.
I think that there's some truth to that, but they still can be a tournament team and be fun. But in terms of winning a championship,
no doubt.
In the immediate future, yeah.
But the win it all was last year.
I mean, you'd think so, especially with BP leaving. I mean, that's really the nail on the coffin there as to why I can agree with you, Matt. If BP was still leading this team, I'd say, hey, there's no reason we can't go back.
Who knows? Maybe if it gets bad by midseason, he might be a shadow head coach for a year.
Yeah,
like Jay Wright with Nova, like weird front office role, but he's like doing national TV on the weekends, but he still has a seat in the front office.
Bruce just happens to stop by practice every couple.
I could say it. It happens often.
Let's do some little transfer trivia here. Our third year doing this now. Can't remember who's won in previous years, but
it's been Matt every year. There's just no doubt. There's no question in my mind.
I don't even know where any of these guys go to school now.
I don't even know who we're talking about yet. So let's get into it.
Jack,
The only names I recognize are Bryce Hopkins, Chad Baker-Mazzaro, PJ Haggerty. Drawing a blank.
Let's get into it.
I'll add
Let's
some
get into it.
context too as we go through this. Jack, I'll start with you having the first opportunity. So after starting his career with Kentucky, Bryce Hopkins is now in his third school. He was previously at Providence. Where does he play now?
Johns Hopkins.
Wow, he's adding in. We get the sound effects.
I did not listen to these buzzers before I put them in here, so don't love that one, but we'll work with it. All right, Matt,
a
go
steal.
You get a steal.
Brian gave us some context. He said started at Kentucky, jumped over to Providence. Did he come back to the state of Kentucky? Maybe not Kentucky. I will guess Louisville.
So Jack said Johns. I really thought you were going to get it. It's
Is
St.
it the
John's.
Johnnies?
He's now a member of the St. John's Red Storm.
I tried to go with the context there, which clearly meant nothing to do with any part of the question. But all right.
All right, Matt, we'll start with you for this one. Nigel Pack was a junior on the Miami team that went to the Final Four in 2023. He now enters his 6th season of college basketball with this team.
Arizona. That's wrong.
UNC.
Oregon.
Right first letter.
Oklahoma State.
Oh, so close.
Oklahoma.
There it is.
Fudge.
All right, we may just have to go rapid fire here.
That's why I started doing it, dude.
I'll give you both a chance, and then you can just start playing out guesses if you don't get it.
All right, but by the way, you're like, oh, so close right later, and then Jack goes Oklahoma. That's total crap. I agree with the rapid fire.
Well, I gave you the right first letter, so it was really only a couple O schools you could have gone with. And you just you had it, and then you said state. I almost played the correct buzzer.
Whatever, dude.
PJ Haggerty averaged 21.7 points per game with Memphis last season, but is now on his 4th different team in his 4th year of college basketball. That team is
Arkansas.
Texas. Duke.
UNC.
Did you just say that? Oh, no.
The last guy.
Big 12.
Texas Tech.
Baylor.
I think I broke the buzzer. There it is.
Kansas.
BYU. No. Kansas State.
Yep.
There it is.
All right, we're 1-1. All right, this one should go quick.
Ugly 1-1, by the way. I will not claim this anywhere.
I think this is Jack first, right? Matt, did I go to you first for the last one?
Yeah.
All right. Jack, your old friend, Chad Baker-Mazzara. He will be 26 years old in January, but he's still playing college basketball for this school.
The fake USC. Brian.
It's the real USC.
I'm not going to say it.
What? He said South Carolina?
No.
That's what the fake USC means, but I know.
No, the fake USC is South California.
Southern California. So that's incorrect.
Southern
Cal.
For a steal. South Cal, California.
And by the way, if I hear USC, I think of Southern California.
So does 90% of the population.
It's just the people who went to South Carolina that say they're the real. Yeah, I get it.
All right, Matt, going to you first here. Jacoby Gillespie started his career. That's a tongue twister. Jacoby Gillespie started his career as a Belmont Bruin, but became a member of the Crab Five last year with Maryland. Kevin Willard departed. So did he. Where did he go?
I don't think he followed Willard.
Yeah, it's not a trick question. He did not.
I have no idea, dude. He was on the Crab Five last year.
Yep.
And he was a big contributor.
Yep. Best guard.
Dude, I have no idea. He also went to St. John's.
UConn. Who is it? I mean, I don't know.
SEC.
Arkansas.
A&M.
Nope. To both.
Texas Tech.
Texas.
Oh, they're in the Big 12.
Same.
Alabama. Fuck.
What's this guy's name?
Jacoby.
LSU.
Gillespie.
Georgia.
SEC. No.
Vanderbilt. That's a tie.
Tennessee.
Bullshit.
There it is.
Wait, wasn't this guy on Tennessee last year?
No,
Yeah,
but
dude,
they had
Brian's
guards
giving
that
us-
are the same kind of
Bullshit.
guard as him. Like, he's
Okay.
literally the perfect kind of guard for that offense. All right, 3 left.
Dude, I'm done with this.
I love the New Mexico Lobos basketball program, mainly because they had Donovan Dent running the show. He is now gone, unfortunately, but he stayed kind of close to New Mexico. Where does he play now? I'm just opening it to both of you.
New Mexico
UNLV.
State. He followed Patino to Xavier. Louisville.
Not close.
You're going further.
I thought Brian was giving some like context, but he stayed close, like meaning he followed
New
Patino.
Mexico.
But clearly, Brian's context gives 0 hints.
It's kind of close to New Mexico.
Is it Arizona State?
No, but you're in the right kind of vicinity.
I mean, I just gave you UNLV, Arizona State,
Arizona,
USC.
Move more west.
more west.
Brother, I'm at the
San
coast.
Diego State.
Right state.
where he went,
UC
Wright
Berkeley, Cal.
You guess UC Berkeley before this other basketball school that he went to?
Also
He's a very
USC,
good player.
UCLA.
There it is.
Oh my God.
Who, by the way,
Alright.
did you guys see their coach interview after, dude? He was like, I would fire myself. It's like, oh my God, dude. This
Yeah,
guy's
that's what it is.
rock. It's the dude who was like the Cincinnati coach, I think, a while ago,
Yep.
the short ball dude.
Mick Cronin.
Yes, exactly. A lot of Buzz Williams energy, but almost worse.
Buzz Williams now at Maryland, by the way.
Yes.
See how that goes.
He is. Yes,
All right,
he
2
is.
left. This one should be pretty quick. Boogie Fland was a pain in our ass last year with Arkansas, but departed to this school, where he will likely be an even bigger pain in our asses.
Alabama.
To Jags, Florida.
Yeah, I just saw him on the TV the other night get worked by Arizona.
All right, last one. I'm not sure what the score is, but we'll say it's tied, and this is for all the marbles. Darian Williams averaged 15 points per game for a Texas Tech team that nearly went to the Final Four before they choked to Florida last season. He is now
He did.
where?
I remember that game. Dude, I have no idea.
Kentucky.
Kind of close geographically.
Louisville.
Not in the state of Kentucky. Go
Xavier.
Not north. Go east.
Nah.
Tennessee.
Same state as Bethune-Cookman.
All right, we don't need UNC. Duke.
No.
Did we decide that was in North Carolina?
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's nothing else.
Too many
It's
schools over
UNC
there.
or Duke.
There's
There's
UNC. There's
another
You go
big
to the University of Charlotte 49ers.
Wait, I'm gonna get this. Come on.
Come on.
Is it Coastal?
No.
That's in South Carolina.
And it's not UNC Asheville. There's a very big school.
UNC
North Carolina.
Greensboro.
No.
Oh my God! If that buzzer would shut up, I could.
High
think for a
Point.
second. Come on, they're not big enough.
Sleeper dark horse team.
I
Brian
can't
loves
really
them.
even give you a hint here.
No more hints.
Yeah,
It's
let
not
me
Duke.
Think for half.
It's not
a second.
Duke and not UNC.
Yes. It's not either of them.
And it's a big. Oh,
You're not-
NC State. Bang! Gotta be it. Because if it's not, there's nothing else.
I was about to start saying, Brian, you know Clemson's in South Carolina, right?
The recruiting god, Will Wade. How could I forget about the Wolfpack?
Yeah, the only hints I could give you were it's the state school or Will Wade went there. And both of those would have given it away right away. Will Wade more from that.
Will Wade would have given it away. And also, speaking of NC State, DJ Burns got some kind of G League contract with the Charlotte Swarm. Is that whoever the Hornets?
Right.
Whoever the Hornets G League is, I think they're the Swarm. I don't know what city they reign from.
The Charlotte 49ers?
No, that's college. Terrible football program.
Hey, they were in it against was it North Texas they were playing? Where they gave up like 50 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. And it was close. The spread was like 27. And then I think North Texas covered in one quarter alone. It was the fourth quarter.
It's the Greensboro Swarm.
The Greensboro Swarm. But it is for the Hornets G League, right?
Yep. Pretty good squad. They got Jonas
DJ
Adu,
Burns.
Eric Dixon, DJ Rodman.
Do they have Burns on the roster yet? Or did
AJ Simpson's there? I don't see Burns on here. It's a fun team.
He might already got cut.
They got a guy named Tidjani Salou. All right, that is college basketball. Make sure to stay tuned throughout the season because we will talk a lot of college ball.
Yes. And not to that dumbass game.
All right, Jack, are you going to stick around for –
I was just going to say, good on you, Brian. I should go now.
All right, we will say goodbye to Jack. He's got a kickball game, but stay tuned for some college football talk.
Going 2-0 tonight. Catch you boys later.
Peace.
Good luck. So we had the first college football rankings drop from the committee for the college football playoffs, so we can no longer refer to that horrendous AP poll. We now get the actual committee rankings. And with that, we got our first bracket. So just quickly running through it here, we have 1 seed Ohio State, 2 seed Indiana, 3 seed A&M, all undefeated teams. Alabama, currently a 4 seed. And then we go to Georgia at 5, Ole Miss at 6, BYU at 7, our Texas Tech Red Raiders at 8, Oregon at 9, Notre Dame 10, Texas and Oklahoma at 11 and 12. But they're not in the playoff right now because those 11 and 12 would go to the ACC champion, which right now would be Virginia at 14, and then the best group of 5 team, which according to the committee is Memphis, but they did not rank Memphis. So it seems like that is wide open for a group of 5 champion. But yeah, just real quick thoughts about this ranking.
Yeah, couple things to digest there right off the rip. I'll try to remember and keep my train of thought as I jump through it. But first, you mentioned our Red Raiders, Texas Tech. For people who don't know, that is the official Views from Section 400 future for this college football season. If you remember years back, we had Washington. They made it to the national championship, lost. So that's who we're looking at. So I look at their immediate path as the bracket stands. It would have an opening round matchup with Oregon into a semifinal matchup with, or would that be a quarterfinal matchup with Ohio State?
I think that would be a quarterfinal matchup.
So I hate where they are right now. I would love if they could either pop up to where BYU is or drop to where Notre Dame is at 10 in that 7 versus 10 side, because I like Texas Tech to have to, play a Notre Dame or BYU. It's just Oregon's tough, and if you do win that game, I think you throw everything you have and then some at Oregon, that you're just out of gas for Ohio State that following week. So I think that's that path to the championship is absolute hell. So not a great start for us, Brian, and anybody else who tailed the official future of the podcast. So that's number 1. Number 2, you touched on, well, I guess I'll let you respond to that if you had any thoughts on what I kind of just went over.
Yeah, I'm looking at this, and it seems like if you're Texas Tech, you have to win the Big 12 and overtake BYU, because right now they think BYU is the better team. And, of course, they're giving Notre Dame the game against that Big 12 champion. And then Indiana, who they've been great this year. Obviously, they're blowing out everybody, but I think the committee kind of knows it's still Indiana.
Right. Like they're
that's the
great.
game you want if you're a 10 or a 7. You want to be the 10 or 7 off of this bracket.
I think you want to play a team like Indiana. They have been great, but that's a high pressure game, man. I mean, Ohio State you can trust. Alabama even, regardless of the coach, like there's a comfortability factor with that program. Texas A&M has been strong, and I know the Big Ten's tough, but the SEC for me a little bit tougher. A tricky game. I think if there's number 2, it is to play at Texas A&M. I know they are good, and I know the coach has them playing really well, but I think Texas A&M versus Ole Miss in that potential quarterfinal could be a super interesting game. So just kind of looking at that, but yeah, I mean, like you said, man, Indiana is the team I'm looking at. Like if I had to pick from Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, or Alabama, it sounds crazy because they knocked off Oregon and they've looked unbelievable, but I think I want to play Indiana.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. And this bracket, like obviously there's so much time to go and
So
things
many
get
things
really
can happen.
crazy because right now obviously they have Virginia ranked as the AC champion and that could still hold, but say Georgia Tech, who they have ranked at 17, doesn't win the ACC championship and finishes their season with 1 or 2 losses, but they beat Georgia in that last game. How do you leave them out?
Right.
So then it just creates even more chaos and even more important for Texas Tech to win the Big 12. And Texas is probably going to be there right outside of the top 10 right now. There's a lot still left to go. And my USC Trojans, who I kind of touched on, are sitting there at 19. So maybe they can make a run too.
They're dead. They have no chance. That team is dead. But where I was going with that, we're hyping up Indiana, this and that. They play a game in Happy Valley this weekend, and I know Penn State's dead, as I kind of started with, but like that's a game where is the Penn State crowd going to show up? I mean, number 2 is coming in. You'd think if you're a senior, if you're the school, well, the season's over. We have one last chance to have a fun college game day, a fun football game day. Make this the Super Bowl of your season and go out there and knock off Indiana at home in Happy Valley. Couple weeks into kind of the new head coach and everybody getting resettled back in. Only down 3 on the road to Ohio State this past weekend. Obviously, second half, a different story. But, I mean, why not, Brian? Indiana, great team, but why not Penn State to play spoiler right at the death?
It's not quite their senior day, but it's their second to last home game of the year. So they're going to show up. It's just, do they have enough? And I don't know if I think they can beat Indiana, but
I like that it's at home.
Yeah, I think they can give them something to at least be scared about.
Make it a tricky game.
Make it a tricky game.
Signetti has those guys. He's probably saying the same thing we're saying, like, hey, don't let a dead Penn State team ruin your season. They're gonna come. Like, Penn State still has talent on their team. I know it's kind of been all wished and washed around, but I don't know. If Indiana gets caught sleeping, man, that really could be a tricky game.
Yeah,
Am I crazy for thinking that?
I don't think you are. There's a lot of games left for these top teams that this bracket's going to shake up a lot.
Yeah,
a whole lot.
So, with that being said, I don't know if you had anything less, but the last kind of thing I wanted to circle here as part of your open for this segment was talking about the group of 5 and how wide open it is. I kind of want to go through. I guess Memphis right now, as it stands, is the best team, clearly, because that's what the committee has. But who are some fun teams that we can throw in? Who's a team? I know JMU's one that comes to mind. And look, unfortunately, it's not March Madness where you can throw a fun team in and they can go on a run. in my head, a 99% chance this group of 5 school gets the brakes blown off them in the opening round. But who's a fun team that we could throw in there that maybe they at least give us a good game? Maybe they keep it close. Maybe they scare the 5th seed that they ultimately are playing in that opening round. Maybe it is Memphis. Does North Texas maybe sneak out and win the American? I don't know if they'll have enough to get it. JMU's there out of the Sun Belt. Look, like I said, not March Madness. You aren't going to see a run. Team's probably going to get the brakes blown off them. But, Brian, I know you're looking at some of these group of 5 schools. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm always going to go back to North Texas just because they score, and they score a lot of points. But we saw them get blown up by South Florida, who also scores a lot of points, and they're still around. And we're likely going to get whoever wins the American, unless JMU wins out. But even they don't have that signature win that you kind of want if you're the committee and you're going to put them in. I think I want to see in North Texas.
Is it the American though? Like it's going to be a Memphis, a North Texas, JMU out of the Sun Belt, maybe, but probably not.
Navy's still hanging around in the American. Also, Memphis, they just had their quarterback rush for like 250 yards in the game, so they're fun.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
I mean, look, I made it very, very, very clear. Whatever team it is, probably going to get the brakes blown off them. Like it's pretty much inevitable. You don't have Cinderella in college football. You didn't have it in the 4-man. You don't have it. Did they go to 8 or did they just jump right to 12?
Just right to 12.
Right to 12. You're not going to have it. They tried to do it last year with SMU. Didn't work out. I guess Memphis is fine for now, but I don't know. Doesn't feel like a fun school, but maybe they have a fun team. Who knows? Lastly on this, Brian, unless you have any more group of 5 stuff you want to chat about, if there's another sneaky team. I do love North Texas, by the way. Would love to see them just because you're right. The scoring aspect is there. But a blowout at home to South Florida doesn't help their case at all, even though South Florida is a good team. I want to talk about logistics for a second. You look at the opening round games, they're on campus. Why can't we have the quarterfinal, maybe the semifinal? I don't know how far you can stretch it. But why do we only get one round on campus, man? I want as many on-campus games as I can get in this college football playoff.
Yeah, I did misspeak earlier. It's the quarterfinal and then the semi. So if Tech wins the first, it'll be the semi. But It's all about the money. It's all about the money, and you got to get the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, their money. The
Still
Rose Bowl,
call
their
it the
money.
Peach Bowl, or do they have the contract rights with the stadiums?
With the stadiums.
Yeah.
But it would be a lot more fun to have them all on campus.
Look, and then the national championship, you want to have like they do the Super Bowl at a set venue, fine. But dude, on campus would just be unbelievable. And I get it. They already give it to us in the opening round, but Georgia, Memphis at Georgia, dude, don't care.
I do wish they would have, because they got rid of the buys for the conference champions. But if they would have just kept the home field, so that Georgia Memphis game would have to be at Memphis if Georgia didn't win the SEC, then that would be electric. If Georgia would still be favored, it should still win, but Memphis would get the fans there, and it'd be cool.
At least, yeah. I know you can't flip it, because then it'd be like, well, what's the point of the rankings? But you're right. And then I guess it's more valuable. It clearly is more valuable to have the opening bye, but those guys don't even get a home game. But I know they get the bye, so that's that's your home advantages by not having to play in the opening round. But I don't know, man. It's still college kids. It's still kids playing the game, so to speak. I know it's all money, and it's college football is blown up so huge that money's going to trump or triumph.
A professional sport.
Yeah, it basically is. You're right, but I don't know, how fun would that be, man, if we got on-campus games in the semifinals?
I would love to see it, and it'll never happen, but that would be It's fun to dream about.
I guess we can just say thank you very much for giving us at least the opening round.
Yeah.
Or maybe
That'll
they
be
expand to 16 or 24 teams.
It's already too long.
And then we get a couple extra. It's too long because you'll have interesting games in the pre opening round, whatever you want to call it. But like, no team's ever gonna like make the run. It'll be like, oh, the 18 seed won 2 games. It's like, all right, like once the team that shouldn't be there gets to face off against one of the top powerhouses, it's not going to be
Which again
fun.
is why are we doing this? But it's now
Right.
essentially like a 5-week playoff because the conference championships feel like playoff games, at least in a lot of the conferences. Then you have the bye week.
Yeah.
Then you have the quarters. Then you have the semis.
It makes it more intense. It's more intense, heightened games, but you kind of already know the outcome, which spoils it a little bit. But in the moment, when they're playing the Big 12 championship, it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. It
But-
feels a little bit drawn out, but there's no real answer to this, especially with the NFL just being king.
Yeah, NFL king, and I don't know. For me, last thing on the outline, surprises or snubs. Still a little too early, right? I think that's probably a better question to ask once the bracket's finalized, but no real major snub. Do they think Virginia's winning the ACC? Is that why they're where they are?
Yeah, they have Virginia just ahead of Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech had a bad loss to NC State, I think. Otherwise, they'd be probably in here as like the 5.
And I think even though it is a bad loss, I think I would rather see Georgia Tech over Virginia.
Yeah,
But I know
they'll have a chance to beat them in that championship, or at least
I like Georgia Tech a lot more than I like Virginia. I'll put it that way.
Virginia, they have like 4 overtime wins this year. They've been barely winning games.
Dude, they almost lost at home to Washington State, who we were like, dude, Washington State should not be a D1 program this year. And they almost lost at home to them as like a minus.
I think they're playing Oklahoma State twice this year because they just can't have a schedule.
Yeah, that game alone, the almost at home loss to a team that flew across the country that barely has a program, docks points in my eyes, regardless of them winning.
Well, I guess we'll have to be big Georgia Tech fans for the rest of this year.
Yeah, well, we got a Red Raiders, so
yeah,
we got enough based on the path they've given us here to open it up.
All right, let's go Texas Tech, but let's finish off with some Michael here.
Works for me.
All right, the Michael of the Week is presented by SeatGeek. We love SeatGeek. It's the #1 sponsor of the Views from Texas 400 podcast. And if you want to go to any of these playoff games coming up in the winter, I almost said fall, use code Views400 at checkout for $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase. That's code Views from 400 at checkout.
You heard the man. Go get your money off.
All right, Matt, let's start with your Michael of the Week here.
Sounds good. So a little bit different one here. I go to the world of football and not the one that we know and love the most. Will be soccer, that us Americans call it. And we just saw this team from Norway called Tromsø have secured Conference League qualifying for next season, which means they'll be playing Conference League is like one below Europa League. So they have Champions, Europa, Conference League. But either way, it's European competition, right? So still, it's small. It's for the smaller clubs, but still valuable because you get money out of it for advancing and whatever and whatnot. So Tromsø have secured Conference League qualifying. Why is that significant? Why is that of any importance? Brian, they are the most northern team in Europe or their football season or whatever. They border the Arctic Ocean. They're basically in the North Pole. The away games next year, they might just win games because teams will be rattled playing all the way up north. I mean, they show, I think it's like Glint is one of the team names, and they're pretty high up in the Arctic Ocean. You go look at this Tromsø. I mean, they can look out and see Santa Claus and his elves. That's how far up north they are. So yeah, again, I'm a little bit probably wary on the details, but I know this Tromsø team they border the Arctic Ocean. They're all the way up north, and the fans that have to travel to away days next season, that's going to be very interesting because this team, they're basically the North Pole.
We just talked about the travel schedule for Washington State. I mean, I assume like this is the same level like the Blackpools of the world are on, so they're going to have to travel all the way.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be surprised, but it's just, dude, it's fascinating, like how far north this team is, that they even have a village or a town or a city up there, and they'll be, playing European club competition next year. It's a TROMSO if you're trying to look it up.
Yeah, it looks like their stadium holds 7,000 somehow.
Yeah, it's very small, but
I'm trying to zoom out here.
I believe, yeah, it's way up there, dude.
Yeah, they're basically in the North Pole.
Is it not the North Pole? I mean, dude, that is
wild.
I don't know how you get much more north than that, dude.
You gotta. I guess you can fly to like the UK, but
well, that's what I mean.
Can't take a bus.
That's where you're gonna. That's for traveling fans. I mean, and again, sorry for anyone who's Norwegian. I'm totally mispronouncing Tromsø. Maybe it's said a different way, but dude, that is wickedly far north.
That's insane.
So that's my Michael of the week, because I was shocked that they even had club soccer, club football all the way up there.
Dude, the weather, like how are they playing?
I don't know, especially because soccer goes all year. I mean, if you zoom in right now in real time, it says it's 41 degrees there right now. So not bad, but we're also not in the heart of winter. Like I would love to zoom in when it's mid-January.
Yeah, so I don't know if you can see this, but 2 days ago, a soccer account tweeted, and it's the Northern Lights over their stadium.
Yeah, that's how far north it is. Totally insane. So shocking to say the least. We'll be on display next year for away days.
That's a great Michael. I'm going to have to tune into some of those games.
Dude, imagine playing a game and the backdrop is just the Northern Lights.
I've been looking for a soccer team to root for. Maybe this is my team.
I don't know how far they'll get, but shit, man. We'll be definitely a fun team to root for.
You know what? I'll see what the merch is looking like on Google. Maybe I'll get a hat or something.
Gonna take a couple months to get to you.
Yeah, maybe 3 to 4 months, depending on the snow output up in Norway.
Unbelievable, but yeah, cool stat to maybe check out as time goes on.
Yep. All right, I actually have a couple of Michaels here, 2 quick ones. The first one, just because this touchdown was very prevalent in our fantasy football matchup last weekend. Tyler Shuck's first career touchdown went to, of course, Juwan Johnson. He's a 6-year veteran in the NFL. Tyler Shuck, of course, is a rookie. They were teammates on the 2019 Oregon Ducks football team.
Really?
It just shows you the state of NIL and extra years and COVID years.
Disaster. Yeah, COVID year. Well, COVID years mixing in with NIL years, has just totally made it ridiculous. But
yeah, that was an insane thing to see.
I didn't even know Juwan Johnson was on Oregon. I thought he just went to Penn State.
No, Chuck was on Oregon. I thought he was just Louisville.
Yeah, man, it's getting too much. They're very close to ruining college sports.
Some would say it's already ruined, but
some would say it's already ruined. It's where, I mean, even just watching Villanova, man, to jump to basketball, there's the days where you had Jay Wright and he brought these guys in and, developed. I mean, Jalen Brunson's a 4-year guy. Josh Hart, 4-year. I mean, it just doesn't exist anymore, and unfortunately, probably never will.
Yeah, it's either you're 1 or 2 years and you're done, or you're staying for 6 or 7 years. They just denied Ty Grant Foster, Grand Canyon legend, eligibility to play a year when
I don't know, but if they did, they shouldn't.
he has like the one of the decent cases where he actually needs another year. He had like I don't think it was appendicitis, but he had like a terrible illness that made him basically miss 2 years. And they're like, no, you can't play. But
which has annoyed you because whatever it was, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, whenever it was with the whole transfer, dude, they were like overly strict. It was like, if you transfer, you got to sit out a year, you lose a year. Like, it was like super, super strict. And I don't know how we go from all the way on the strict side to all the way on completely wide open. It's the wild, wild west. I think that dynamic is the fact you can't find the common ground and the middle ground is just mind boggling to me.
yeah, and this could have been another Michael, but I forget the guy's name, but I think he was in the NFL UK program, but he attended Chargers minicamp in the summer, and he is actively recruiting for college football. He's down
Yeah,
like, it's like, what are we doing?
It's so botched, man.
It is. I do have a feel-good story for my last Michael about college sports to get us back on track here.
Wow, all that, and now it's an hour. What do you got?
So Brandon Dwyer was an FGCU walk-on. I think he was a walk-on, either a walk-on or like a barely recruited recruit. But he played 4 years, and he gained 2 million TikTok followers over those 4 years because he had a series, The Road to 1 point. Yep. He never scored a point over those 4 years. But he came back as a graduate player for a 5th year this year. And in the opener, they were up by 30 with 3 minutes left, got brought into the game, and hit back-to-back threes to get 6 points for his career.
Which was awesome. He was fired up, had the crowd into it. The team they played was like the Florida School of Life or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, borderline a recreational league team, rec league team.
They might be in the same conference as Mississippi School for Women.
Dude, I mean, that school, I get it. It's FGCU and opening night of college basketball. You always get, that type of school. And that's what makes college basketball fun, I guess. But yeah, dude, the school they played, if there was a game to score a point or score 6 for what he did, it was that game. And, props to the guy. He stuck to a series. I mean, showed up with no affiliation to like be the equipment guy, to like the, student manager, to like student coach, just them walk on and look, got a shot and drained the 3.
Both of them.
Yeah, he was fired up, ready to go. Doesn't turn into more minutes down the stretch for the guy.
I mean, FGCU, they're not exactly the Dunk City Goliath that they were back in the day. So
no,
maybe he gets some time. I don't know where they project to be in the. I think they're still in the ASUN.
Yeah, ASUN sounds right. I think you're absolutely right. But look, man, feel good stories, right? He got a shot. And he hit the shot.
Yeah, shout out Brandon Dwyer. Maybe we can get him on the podcast at some point.
Yeah, and even he did it because he accomplished it, and built a huge following that obviously where social media is in everybody's lives nowadays. Whether he wants to go get, I know they don't call social media a real job, even though he can make a lot of money, but I mean, kind of maybe set himself up for a nice career after college through social media.
Yeah, no, definitely. Even if he stays at FGCU and just does the social media for the team.
Yeah, I mean, it shows you where if you just stick to something, keep grinding, whether it's 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, sticking to it is the biggest key. Consistency, and you usually are able to see the fruits of your labor, whether it's quick or later down the line.
And with that, if you're listening, follow the show. If you're watching, hit that subscribe button and like the episode.
Bang.
And we'll see you guys on Tuesday.
We will see you on Tuesday night.